Situated on the Arkansas River, Tulsa is Oklahoma's cultural and arts center. It's been called out in several magazines that Tulsa is one of the most livable large cities, and I can see why. We drove all around town to get a feel, and found almost everywhere we went was very reasonable to even upscale. It's a big city, but felt comparatively safe to other big towns. Tulsa's population is about 415,000 and about 1 million in the surrounding metropolitan area. There were several suburbs of the town that offered all regularly desired amenities and nice communities. I also felt that there was a lot of time and interest in their parks and green spaces. I could absolutely live in this town if the tornado possibilities didn't keep me up at night. All in all, I was very impressed with Tulsa and liked it more than I thought I would. Well, here's something fun. I'm here in Centennial Park in Tulsa, and this happens to be the Pearl District. And from the Pearl District, behind me, you might see the Chase Tower. How cool is that? Now, if this possibly is your first video that you've watched of mine, my dogs' names are Pearl and Chase. So, in the Pearl District, looking at the Chase building. One of the most famous sites in Tulsa is the Golden Driller. This guy was erected back in the 50s for the International Petroleum Expo. And the company that brought him up for their booth, obviously to promote their company, they took him down, and then the next year at the exposition, they put him up again, and he was so popular and attracted so much attention that they ended up donating it to the Tulsa Fairgrounds. So here he stands forevermore until he's not there anymore. Gonna make it all the way to Missouri today. Headed from Tulsa, Oklahoma, up and over to Carthage, Missouri. It's a 1 hour, 15-minute drive. Perfect. Staying 2 nights. And after that, we will have completed our 2-week cross of the Great Plains. So I'm very excited. The terrain and plants and the smells of the field are already very different to me. It's very humid, a ton of bugs. I saw fireflies. I'm so excited. You know, it's getting into a region that I'm not familiar with. Up to this point, this year, it's all been in like the Southwest, and I'm very familiar with that. So it's very exciting to be getting to all this green stuff, trees that I don't know what they are, which is very exciting. And I mean, humidity, bugs, lots of bug sounds at night, humming and buzzing and all sorts of different things. So I'm very excited to get to a place to stay for a couple weeks. It's been 2 weeks so far of a lot of moving, and I'm ready to take a break, get a bit more work done, and settle in for a while. Are there 2 parking spots over there by you?
No.
Just saw my first armadillo. I've never seen one in person, and within less than 5 minutes I saw 2 more. All of them, unfortunately, were on the side of the road. I think a lot of people see them there, but it's pretty amazing to see so many. And then I saw another skunk, more roadkill. But interesting. I would have not expected armadillos to be in Missouri, Oklahoma. But I thought they were just kind of in Texas or in dry areas, even though I'd never seen them before. But it's still kind of cool to see them, and hopefully...
Tires in the road in the middle, on the center line up here.
Thanks for letting me know. Some tires in the road. Anyway, that was pretty cool to see armadillos. And another first time to Missouri. You may recall in Rio Rada, I had a big keyboard, if you ever saw it in the background, and I didn't want to get rid of it, but as you can imagine, there's limited space in, a fifth wheel or RV, and the only place I could possibly put it is over here. So I have the stand over here by the dog bed, and the only way to put it there is if this chair is far enough over. So I moved both chairs over there because I don't ever really use two of them, and if I can scoot this over, I might be able to get the piano there. So I'm going to try it out, because the piano's been in my closet for several months now, under here. So I'd love to get that out and be able to actually use it. It'd be really fun. It's really heavy. I don't know how heavy it is, but because it's kind of an awkward shape, it feels a little heavier. Oh, it's like stuck on something. So my dad actually made this stand. He welded it together. It's square tubing steel. And it used to have some felt up here, but I'm getting to add a little bit of this to help protect it a little more. So my parents have always been involved, in fact my dad, since I ever remember. He played piano at church. So he made this so he could bring it and have a stand for his keyboard, because the weighted key keyboards are much heavier. And the reason why the weighted key keyboards are interesting for piano players is because it feels more like a piano. A regular keyboard that has like hollow keys underneath, it is a totally different feeling, and sometimes it can mess you up because of that. So he would take this keyboard. He actually gave me this keyboard and this stand because their church, they still go to church, they got a piano, so this was just sitting in their garage because he didn't have any use for it. So now it is sitting in my fifth wheel. The cool thing about this is it's not just a piano, but it's also a keyboard. So if I ever got really inspired and managed to find some extra time, I could compose some stuff or something. Of course, I'm not really a composer. But if you are wondering, I actually grew up playing piano. I grew up in a very musical family. And I played for 13 years. And I even considered going to college for piano performance, and I was like on track to you have to do all these little tests to get a scholarship and stuff, but I ended up not doing it because it wasn't my calling, it wasn't I want to do this as my life. So what I did go to school for, I actually got multiple degrees. It was like an interdisciplinary studies program. So I had 3 majors, and it was Spanish language, Italian language, and linguistics, which is the study of languages. And I got this cool degree, multiple degrees, and it's hard to do something when you graduate from college and it's not a title of a job. But I did a bunch of random stuff, and I lived abroad in several different countries. So it was fun. And then I actually went back to school paying for it all myself, working through. This is when I was living in my car that I've previously mentioned. And I went back to school for forestry, emphasis in ecological restoration, and Mandarin Chinese, because I love those languages. So there's a couple chords, and I got the sustainer pedal. I would usually always play classical. That's what I grew up playing, is classical. So now, the $100 question is how to secure this down for travel. Well, I'm in Branson, Missouri, and this is the last stop along the historic Route 66 that I will be taking here for 2 nights, which means I have 1 day, and I'm just using it to work, catch up, get ahead, and I'm dropping off a bunch of t-shirts at the post office today. And I wanted to thank you guys so much for ordering these shirts. I still have a couple more larges, extra larges, and I got 4 smalls, which I'm probably not going to be able to sell. Anyway, thank you for that, and there's still a couple more available. Anyway, being that this is the last stop along the 2 weeks that we took to cross the Great Plains, as well as the last stop along the Route 66, I figured it would be a great closure for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting and tuning in and appreciating the videos. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time in Branson, Missouri.